Welcome everybody to Chase the Smoke. I'm Chase Urbanski. Today we're going to be doing some Korean style short ribs. Let's get to prepping. So what I have here is about 3.5 pounds of Korean style short ribs. I'm going to be cooking on the flat top on the Weber 22. Also, in addition to that, I'm going to also be making some coleslaw and some Spam Masubi as our sides. So here I'm just going to be laying them out. It's just going to be a lot easier to season all of them, or try and season all of them at one time. I'm going to be starting off with a sweet layer, because these are going to cook fairly fast. Do a little bit of smoked mafia. Definitely going to give it more of that smoky flavor. Has a lot of salt, pepper, garlic. And then to finish it off, going to use some Yardbird. This has the color, it has more of the paprika in it. A little bit of sweet and a little bit of heat. Press these in. Flip them over. Repeat the cycle. Got our maple, smoked mafia, extra smoke flavor. Finish them off with the Yardbird. While we let them sit, we'll get prepping on our coleslaw and on our Spam Masubi. For our coleslaw, you're going to need about a gallon of grated cabbage. We have some purple cabbage as well for color, and some carrots. For our key ingredient, we have our homemade dressing, which consists of mayonnaise, sugar, and apple cider vinegar. First, we're going to be taking the shredded cabbage out, pouring that into our pan. I typically do about half of it for now. All of the carrots and all of the purple cabbage. Then I'll be mixing in our dressing little by little to the consistency that you'd like. The reason why I'll actually only do half now and half later is because the dressing is actually going to be breaking down the cabbage, and it's going to shrink about half of its size. That's about right. We're going to let this sit and soak in all those different flavors, and it's also going to help the sugars break down so they're not so crunchy in your mouth when you're chewing it up. To prep our Spam Masubi, we're going to need Spam, sticky rice, our Spam press, the seaweed paper. Also, you're going to need some teriyaki sauce. I prefer using Yoshida's. I feel it has the great flavor. It would also be best to have some good kitchen shears to cut the seaweed. First things first, we're going to get the Spam out of the packaging. We're cutting them about 1/2 inch thick. Next, we're actually going to be taking the Spam and frying it on top of the griddle. Now I'd like to take this time to give a shout out to Milos Meat Shop here in Gilroy. Awesome, great shop. Tons of meat to choose from. Tri-tip, brisket, ribs, wagyu, you name it, he's got it. Go check him out here local in Gilroy off of 10th Street. He'll hook you up. We're getting the charcoal fired up for our short ribs and for our Spam Masubi. Now that the coals are nice and hot, we're actually going to be replacing the grill grates off of this, dumping in the charcoal over some chunks of wood to give it more of that smoke flavor, and going to be setting our flat top on top of this. This is going to get extremely hot. We're going to throw some oil on it. This is going to make it so we can grill up our Spam Masubi as well as our short ribs. Now we'll be laying down the Spam. Be cooking the short ribs as well. We'll be checking these to see if there's any golden brown color on them. Putting on a little bit of Yoshida's, giving it that flavor, sweet flavor. These are going to cook really fast. Now that these are nice and golden brown, you're going to want to remove them from the fire. Once these are done, you're going to remove them, put them in the foil tray, wrap it in some foil, keep that heat in. Now that the Spam is done, going to be cutting these in half, getting ready to roll them. Put our press, grab some sticky rice, press it down firmly, grab a piece of Spam, Repress it down firmly again. Then roll it up. Perfect. Now that we have the Spam Musubi ready, I'm gonna actually lay out the short ribs right next to it and also the coleslaw. So our coleslaw is set for about 30 minutes now. I'm actually gonna add the other half of the bag of cabbage to it. So you have firmer pieces that are crunchy, as well as the pieces that have broken down in the sauce. Give it a quick toss. There's so many layers to this that I gotta take it one bite at a time. First, let's start with the coleslaw. Perfect. Perfectly seasoned in our dressing. Can taste a little bit of the sugar, the tanginess of the apple cider vinegar, as well as just all those great flavors combining together into one. Next, we'll be doing the Spam Musubi. Dipping a little bit of that teriyaki Yoshida sauce. Wow, that is perfect. Get the flavors in there. A little bit of salt from the Spam with the rice really balances it out. Great, great tasting appetizer. And finally, our Korean style short ribs. Wow, very tender. All the seasonings combined together. Perfect, perfect taste. You've got to try these recipes. And now the recap. So we started with the short ribs. Took them out of the package, seasoned them up, cooked it on the flat top until they're cooked through and through. Then with our Spam Musubi, as we started off with the Spam, we cooked it on the flat top. Then we built our layers. First we put down the seaweed, then we placed our mold. In that mold, we put the sticky rice, pressed it, then we put down our Spam, pressed it again, pulled the mold off, rolled it up, then voila, Spam Musubi. Then finally, our coleslaw. Grated the cabbage, the purple cabbage, the carrots, made our own special dressing, which is comprised of mayonnaise, sugar, apple cider vinegar. Mixed those together, let it sit for about 30 to 45 minutes to condense. Then after that, added in more cabbage to give it that crunchy consistency. And that's how you make great coleslaw. Well, that's it, guys. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, go check out all of our other videos. Click, like, and subscribe. And don't forget to always chase the smoke.